right, it looks like we are live. Happy Friday, everyone. I saw a couple of celebrations that everyone was like, thank God it's Friday. It's just another day here at Scaling Lean. If you don't know who we are, my name is Nina Brennan. This is my co-founder, Jonathan Horansky. We're the co-founders of Scaling Lean, and every single day we go live just talking about the ins and outs of the online space, what's working in 2025, what's changed since 2021 since we've been in the online space, what we've been studying over the time, what's working in real time, etc. With that being said, we have some cool topics for you today. We roll over a lot of it from our DMs daily that we're doing with our clients. And today, what we want to talk about is a little bit of sales, building your tribe, and price anchoring to get people through. So they, just like the sales process in general. I think something that's really important to talk about here is building your tribe online, especially if you are newer in the online space and you're really just getting your message out there. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to you, JP, and we can hop right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome, everyone. TGIF. It's definitely been a pretty wild week this week, whether that's just online news, the world. It's just been a crazy place. So super grateful to be here and in the presence of all the amazing people and bringing forward what we can to you about growing your business and not being in pain doing that. So with that being said, I had an awesome meeting last night at AI Surfer headquarters. It was really cool. We were talking about Soul Money Live, just how to identify some bottlenecks and or resistances inside of your energy system. And then, we hopped on the DM daily call this morning, and we did have some pretty cool topics come up about sales and price anchoring. So we figured we would really just speak to that a little bit because we feel it definitely supports getting more deals closed and just not being a pushy salesperson in general, just kind of future pacing where things can go. So that being said, drop in wherever you're tuning in from. Let us know what you're doing this weekend, what type of topics are on the list for you. No football season's here, probably hanging out with family. It's a perfect time of year to be outside. It's like we're through the summer heat and all that. I actually just picked up some pickleball rackets last night, so that's my plan for the weekend. Just a little bit of plug there. Let's hop in, Nina. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to challenge you to some pickleball. I play more so tennis now, JP. I don't know if you know, I got tennis rackets for Christmas. But I challenge you when I come down to Scottsdale. Anyway, so that's awesome. With that being said, let's hop into the topic of, let's start with building your tribe online. And I know there's a lot of resistance when somebody is transitioning into this new world of entrepreneurship. And there's fear to post online. There's fear to reach out to people, especially people from your past. And there's fear of just being seen in this new venture. And I was thinking about this in my car ride last night, or actually, no, it was this morning. I was driving my car at like 5 o'clock this morning because I had to drop my boyfriend off at the bus station because he's leaving for wherever he's going this week. And I'm like, when I first started business online, there was a lot of fear, and I was fearful of being seen. And a lot of our clients have expressed this like idea of fear. And I was thinking about it of like, why do people have fear and being seen? And I feel like as adults, and like you and I have been taking on some things to really challenge ourselves outside the comfort zone. Like I saw you also did acro yoga a couple of weeks ago with Dr. Lily. And it's like, I feel as adults, people are just bad or they're scared of being bad at things. And I feel like that's one of the fear and resistance of getting online because maybe you're not the best at content. I know I wasn't when I first started posting online, which was one of those things that like hindered my growth in the very beginning because I was scared to post. And when I was thinking about this thought of being bad at things and challenging ourselves outside of the norm, that's all business is. And if you're not used to doing that on a daily basis because you're content in your job or you're doing the same thing over and over, that might be a hurdle that one has to get over. What would you want to say about that, JP?
So overcoming hurdles with, just be a little more clear with that question.
Yeah. So like in terms of like being bad at things as an adult and like that being a hurdle to get over in order to start the entrepreneurial journey, and that's when you start building your tribe, like where did you face resistance in that kind of container when you first started business?
Yeah, I feel as an entrepreneur, like it's all about your network, right? The more, if no one knows about you, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get anywhere, right? And that's why we focus so heavily on community growth and long-term relationships because, how many times, Nina, have we had clients years ago and then now they're back in our ecosystem doing a joint venture with us or bringing a referral in, right? We rely heavily on referrals, and it's a little bit of a different method of business that we do, we focus on small, tight-knit communities that are intimate. We don't do the mass churn and burn method where there's just loads of people coming in, and like those methods work and they're great. And there's great communities that build in that, but we focus as founders as building the relationships with all of our folks, and really the ecosystem builds itself from the inside out rather than us like leading the tribe and driving the tribe forward as like we are the leader and putting our stake in the ground and kind of hiding behind closed doors. So yeah, absolutely. We definitely, for me, it was just all about getting out there and starting to build the network and starting to build the pipeline of value and or customers, right? Those initial first 5, 10, 15, 25 clients, to really start building that whole momentum online. And that's a lot of the resistance we see folks having, right? Like just this morning, one of our 28-day fast start clients was saying, man, I'm just having a hard time finding that initial momentum. Like, where can I find my group of people to start to communicate with, to get this process going? So we're working with him to really create that initial momentum and that initial plan to penetrate and start getting that internal flow into his ecosystem to help him grow his network, right? And it's about finding the right message. It's about creating the right offer and value in the marketplace in order to start that momentum.
Yeah, something to mention here too. I feel there's a lot of resistance because people are like, "Oh, I don't have like the personal brand yet," right? And it's the idea that you have to be this like highly positioned authoritative figure in the online space, which when you are building a community or you are building your quote unquote tribe, there will be some sense of authority inside of this tribe that you're building because you are the owner and founder of whatever business that you started. But I really do feel that the quote unquote guru empire has like really fallen since like 2022 to now. It's like maybe it's because you and I, Jonathan, put ourselves in rooms with these people. And at the end of the day, it's like you pierce the veil. It's like they're human, we're human. You could just have a conversation and you're both on a very similar journey, just at like different points. And I feel like that's how we very much approach our business with our clients. And we kind of pierce the veil for them so they can see that they achieve it. And we want to lead that way and kind of show them this, like, we're here, we're showing you the exact processes. And like, even though we're at different levels of business, we're really showcasing like that they can do it too. And I feel like that's the kind of leadership that the online space is really craving. It's not like that guru mentality of like, oh my God, I look up to you so much. And like, and Alex Hermosi is doing a very good job, and Layla Hermosi, of like, they're inviting people into their ecosystem and like being very present in the room with them. Like, obviously there's a price tag for it, but it's like they're still there. You're still able to talk to them. You're still able to communicate. Where I remember back in the day, like, I remember we went to a live event with one of our quote unquote mentors, and you went to shake his hand and he pretended like you didn't even exist. And I feel like that kind of regimen, sorry, but I know, like, it's like that's the kind of like environment that's not really catered to online anymore. Like the ego and like this, like, I'm so much further ahead and better than you. The shift in community has really been like, I don't know, like that oneness, that unity, like I am you, you are me, like we're on the same journey, and like I'm going to help you pull, like you'll literally be on my sled as I'm moving up the mountain. And that's what people are craving. And if you start leading in this kind of like way, it's not as quote unquote scary because it's just like, hey, like communication, this is exactly what I did. Like I want to help you too. And that's really what's happening in the online space. And those are the people that I see are very much succeeding in the long term rather than these fast building empires and the collapse, because there's such a disconnection between like top and bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, this is an entire rabbit hole we could go down pretty deep here. But yeah, there's kind of like, it's totally complete businesses and they both operate amazingly. It's just we kind of choose the purpose-driven, authentic, small knit, tight knit, intimate lane. But then there's like the like mass, like guru at the top of the hill, kind of turning people over with the giant team and all that stuff. And it is kind of interesting, Nina, to hear some of the big folks in the industry, like Brunson. I was at a podcast with him and even got the opportunity to speak with him. And he's really bullish on the community aspect, right? He's like, in the next 3-5 years, potentially even sooner, we don't really know, with the developments in AI, he believes people are going to be able to create ClickFunnels on their own or create Go High Level on their own. And we actually just plugged into a community this week where you don't even need school anymore. There's an entire ChatGPT system that helps you write your offer, do all of your content, and everything that you need. So it's like an all-in-one process where you don't even have to go anywhere else, right? And the community's there, the course is there, and it's like amazing to see the development of how social media is working, because I believe it's going in a direction where you're going to actually be able to build a stronger community that's more focused and less like noise, if you will, like, because it'll be all inclusive instead of people having to hop over to all of these different softwares. Like, that all is confusion and people can get lost on the trail, right? Where if everything is kind of all in one, I know some people hate Go High Level because it's an all-in-one software versus like having ClickFunnels and email autoresponders and kind of piecing things together. But I truly believe, and what we've been doing for years, Nina, is like all-in-one definitely supports growth more, just because it allows us to focus on one thing, right? So we've always optimized for, like, we have our databases in Slack and stuff like that, where we can have everything in one and track people down and understand where they are in our buyer's journey and keep notes on them and build those deep relationships with them for the long term. So that was something that is a through line that I've kind of been observing over the past like 3 to 6 months on like what's been moving forward, right? And that's who we've been aligned with pretty much from the beginning. It's like people that are community focused, personal brand growth, not the massive turn and burn, like more intimate.
Yeah. And it goes hand in hand with our mission here at Scaling Lean. So if you are new watching here and you don't really know Jonathan and I and what the mission that we're on, like, our business name is Scaling Lean, like LEAN. And our whole goal is to help people build 6 and 7 figure businesses with lean teams, lean system, and high profit margins. And like, we've been a walking example of it. And like, we had the large team of 10. It's not that big, but it was like we had the team of 10. We were scaling really fast. We were doing all the things that we were told that we needed to do. And both of us were so unaligned with this kind of like mass movement, burn and churn, that when we launched Scaling Lean back in 2022, we really pivoted into this more like, we're going to build a community. We're going to focus on client results. We're going to focus on lifetime value of clients. And that's what we teach our clients. And that's the culture that we've built here at Scaling Lean. Instead of going for the masses, like, we don't need huge audiences and people to buy once and disappear. It's like, cater to your clients where you are the leader of your tribe, but like, you could still connect and like build, like what you just said, those deeper relationships, those deeper nurturing. It doesn't have to be always one-on-one. This is where AI and automation has really changed the game since 2022 tremendously. Like, you can speak to your client or your prospects exactly where they are and meet them where they are, because you understand them at such a deep level. And that's like, we are talking about marketing and sales inside of this entire like live. Like, marketing and sales should be intertwined. Not everything needs to be like a touch point from you and or a setter. Like, it could just be like fully automated, but it still has to be to that point where it's like, it feels like there was, I guess you could say, love and thought put into the assets that you're providing for your community. And like, you have an understanding of like how they're navigating through the community and or your ecosystem, where they're provided the right information at the right time to build that trust and authority. So when they are ready to buy from you, they just seamlessly buy, whether it's low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, or commit to that like year program if that's something that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on, Nina. So with that being said, why don't we plug in a little bit to some of the price anchoring strategies that we've deployed over the years and learned, because I feel like it can be very supportive for someone that is, starting to build out their program and go from their initial offering and validation offer to their bigger high ticket back end, or if they have a year-long mastermind or an inner circle program. I feel like this is a golden nugget that could really help people propel forward, just by the way you position your offer. So with that being said, really what price anchoring is, and if you haven't heard about it before, I'm looking it up literally right now. You can just type in price anchoring and learn more about it inside of your ChatGPT or on Google. But really what it is a process where you anchor your highest priced product or service, and then you also make your prospect aware of all the other products in your suite, and you stack those products in a platinum, premium, general, or basic plan, and then entry level plan. However, you have that language inside of your offer, right? Like in Scaling Lean, we have multiple tiers of services with names behind those, right? And then what that enables you to do is say, hey, here at Scaling Lean, we have products and services as much as $50,000 or more per year. But for you, so-and-so, based on what I've learned over this call, you fit more into our consulting offer, which starts at $3,000 for 6 months or whatever that is for you. How does that sound to you? And that's just a good way to frame it, because then for me and what I've discovered and understood and seen based on the conversion is like the people hear that big number as like a sticker shock. And then it kind of price anchors the lower price, so it increases the amount of conversion. And then also what it does is people say, oh, well, actually, I want that bigger thing. So it increases the amount of the higher ticket product as well, because people also, like, they don't necessarily like feel what you're feeling. And they'll go for that bigger product or service, or even just ask more questions about like what's inside. And that's how we like to frame things up. We don't usually do like it's 10K paid in full, and then like kind of play around with pay plans. We like to present our offer forward and just be fully transparent with what that is, and then let the people decide what exactly they want.
Yeah. And I just want to bring up here, the reason that we're bringing up price anchoring is because it goes hand in hand with building your community, building that trust, and having that, like, meeting your people where they are is how we really approach sales at this point in time. That's what's working in the space in 2025, right? So you are able to present this like full suite offer that you have, which is 5K, 10K, 50K, whatever it is, as your highest ticket. But when you are having this conversation, and if you have been in the space for quite some time, think about like I started in like 2020 when I was like looking at programs, and I felt it was like an all or nothing mentality. And it's like you're in or you're out. And like if you're out, like it's your fault. So like you were blamed if you were A, not able to afford it, B, didn't align with their program. It was never like, hey, this program's not right for me. It was like a you're buying or like you suck type of mentality that people approach sales. And over time, there's been like this, we pierce the veil and like we walk down. It's like, okay, like you don't have to buy this like program because I don't think you're ready for it. But what you could be ready for is our starter program that, like, it's for people from the 0 to 10K range, and it's the first sprint to 10K. And it makes sense. So then, number one, client results are just a lot better because they're focused where they should be at the time. Whereas, like, I'm sure many people watching this video, you've gotten into a program and it's just like a crap ton of courses thrown at you, maybe an accountability coach that's never done it before. And it's like, where do I start? And there's like the analysis paralysis of overwhelm of course graveyards are now sitting because like you don't know where to go or what to do. And it's just like, okay, this doesn't really work for me because whatever reason it is. Maybe you don't learn that way. Maybe there's not enough instruction. Maybe it's because like, you tried something and there's not really clear direction, so the system was broken. Whereas like when you break it down from like, okay, there's this like $15,000 to $20,000 product, you're not ready for it. Start with the 28-day fast start, which is like one of our products or services. Start with our cohort, which is like the first 4 weeks. It just makes the buyers more like, it builds the trust because they're getting quick results right away and they see the progress rather than being like, okay, where do I start? I'm overwhelmed. And then you get bad reviews. So number one, it helps you sell more because there's little buyer pockets. It builds trust while you're getting paid. It helps your clients get results because you're meeting them where they are. And it creates lifetime value because they're taking the steps as you tell them to take the steps. And it's action items that are chunked down for their speed. And I think that's so important with like building the tribe, is building the trust through the process of like what you are delivering. Because it's like, if they're getting the results, they're going to continuously buy from you. And then it's a win-win situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point that you bring up there. So here we would drop that little bit of gold nugget because it was something that came up on our daily DMs call today. We were really going and making like a custom price anchoring pitch for one of our clients. I look forward to seeing the results, and maybe we'll report on those in the coming weeks. 100%. So with that being said, I feel like we we're hitting around the 20-minute mark, and I don't really have anything left to say, to be completely honest. We do have the 4 weeks to profit cohort happening. We had 3 people enroll in the past 24 hours, got some seats left, and would love to have you all join. It's going to be an awesome 4-day cohort where we're going to go over our 3C's business model, how to launch your offer, how to create your offer, and ultimately how to scale your offer. If you're already at 5 to 10K, you're looking to get to 30, 60, or 100. It's a great workshop where it'll just put you in momentum no matter where you are. It's only $27 to join. We do have VIP options where we'll stick to the end with anyone that has any questions. Last time, I think we were up to like 60 minutes after, right? And we were just working with everyone individually. There's a lot of value, and there's case studies in the community and all the things. But the biggest thing is we want to help people get momentum around this time of year, because this is when people do start to really set intentions for the next year and really start to buy things that will support their businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I don't think I have any other words for today.
Yeah. If you do want to join, anyone who's watching this, it's only $27. It's 4 days back to back, Monday through Thursday next week. It's going to be an hour long where JP and I are just really teaching live how to create, launch, and monetize a info product online. If you don't have info products, that's fine. We teach you how to validate your offer, how to bring it to market, how to get paid for it, land your first 5 clients. We've had great results. Jane landed 4 clients in just 4 days. Justin, he closed $5,100 of clients within a 3-week window. Annette's pumping. She has 3 clients into her cohort already that kicks off Monday. And the anomaly, which is great, but he's been in business for 13 years. Alan landed a $90,000 deal. All results from the last cohort, and we're waiting for more to come. But that was back in August. So we did August 18th through 21st. This time's going to be very similar. We're going to have high energy, and we're really looking forward to anyone who wants to join. Let us know. Drop cohort below, and we'll send you the link. All right. See you Monday, guys.